everyone, welcome back to Clover's Candle Corner, where I talk about candles for fun. And it is almost the solstice, so I hope you all had a fantastic fall, and I am here to tell you about all of the fragrances that I burned for the fall season. I will let you know that I usually cut off fall and start burning like Christmas and winter scents around Thanksgiving. Like Thanksgiving is my last day of fall, even though it's not the solstice yet. Just because by the time it's December and it starts getting really cold, I'm more in the mood for winter scents. So yeah. And I am going to talk about all of these scents in order from like the worst to the best. So stick around if you want some recommendations for some good fall scents. I'm also going to talk about the performance and strength and what I liked or didn't like about the scent. So let's get started with the very worst of the bunch.
Disappointed!
So first up is Rainy Day from Yankee Candle. The top notes are a bunch of words that I don't know how to pronounce, so I'm gonna do my best. Apologies in advance. Armos and Artemisia, oolong tea, and pink pepper. Mid notes are vanilla orchid, gardenia, French jasmine, and base notes are white amber, fir balsam, and cashmere woods. So I actually don't have this candle anymore, which is why I am not holding it up for this portion of the video. I actually had to bring it back to the store twice, so I was having burn issues with it, and the first time I was like, oh, maybe it's just this one, you know, I'll bring it back and exchange it and get the same candle and try again. And I did, and that one also had burn issues. I think the wicks were just really thin and fragile, and so they were like breaking apart before the flame really had time to break them down. So that's a shame because it smelled really good on cold, so I was kind of hoping that I would be able to experience that fragrance burned, but oh well. Yeah, so the wax didn't melt all the way to the edges. It kind of created a shape because it was a 3-wick. It created a fidget spinner-esque shape. And of course I wasn't getting any of the strength or throw from it that I want out of a candle. So that is unfortunately the worst out of the bunch, and I'm very disappointed, but it just didn't perform. So I have to rank it at the bottom. And next is also a bit of a disappointing one. Basil Leaf and Apple from Bath & Body Works. And the scent notes on this one are crisp apple, fresh picked basil, and morning dew. So I loved this scent when I bought it from Bath & Body Works in a soap. I loved it so much, in fact, that I bought 3 more because I wanted it to last me for a good while through the fall. So since I liked the scent so much, I was like, I'll get it as a candle. And this one didn't have the performance issues that Rainy Day did. Like you could see it burned out all the way to the sides, and I burned a pretty good amount of it, but I just stopped burning it at a certain point because I gave up trying to get anything out of this candle. Like absolutely no strength to the fragrance at all. The soap smells amazing, but you don't get anything from this candle. And like I said, I was burning it for several hours at a time, and you know, I was standing right over it and I still couldn't smell it. So it's disappointing because I'm always looking for apple scents that don't have cinnamon in them so that I can actually burn them. And obviously fall is very cinnamon heavy, so I was really excited when I found this, and it just didn't turn out the way that I hoped. So I don't think I'll be repurchasing this candle if they come out with it again next year, but hopefully they'll reformulate it. The soap, however, I'm definitely going to buy again. I love that soap. And definitely getting multiples too, if it's available. So
we'll take 20.
So yeah, please reformulate Bath & Body Works. Next up is Enchantress spell. So I actually talked about this one already in my Halloween candle review video, so I won't go into too much detail here, but basically it was okay. If you want more info about this candle, I'll link the video down in the description so you can check it out. But I didn't burn through too much of it because, I don't know, it was okay, but not super amazing. And next is Golden Autumn, also from Yankee Candle. So this one, on first sniff, you definitely get overwhelmed by the floral notes.
Isn't that great? He's just getting high on life.
But they calm down a bit as the candle burns. I couldn't find scent notes for this candle because it's a little bit of an older fragrance, but I did find the web page for it, and the description on the website says, "Fill your home with the beautiful blossoms of fall. Sunflowers, mums, and dahlias warmed with notes of ginger and vetiver." And I definitely think that is an accurate description. So well done, Yankee. It is very floral, like I said, but the ginger note in it adds a little bit of a sharpness to it that adds a very nice complexity. So I really appreciate that. Since it's burned almost down to the bottom, the sooting kind of added a bit of darkness to the wax, but it is like this nice golden color that you see up here that I really enjoy. It feels very bright and happy. So in my opinion, this is a good fragrance for early autumn, for when it's still warm outside and the leaves haven't quite changed yet, but you're not quite in the mood for like the leafy woodsy conceptuals, but you're like way past all of the summer like beachy tropical fruit kind of scents, and you want something to sort of, you know, transition in between the seasons kind of vibe. So just dip your toe into a warm cottage garden type of scent. I hope you get what I mean, but I do like this fragrance. There's just some that I like more because I feel like this captures summer to fall, and in a ranking of fall scents, there are some that I feel like are fall. I don't know. I'm in a weird mood today. Anyway, this is a good one. But like I said, it's an older fragrance. I don't know if Yankee's gonna bring it back. So we'll see. If you can find it though, I do recommend. Next up is the Upside Down.
Now we just need to sneak into his lair in the Upside Down and drive a stake through his heart.
Which is from Bath & Body Works and Stranger Things collaboration. And the scent notes for this are mossy stone, smoky birch tree, and eerie fog. This is another one that I mentioned in my Halloween candle review video, so I will point you toward that video for more of my thoughts on that. But I will say this is a very earthy scent, so it's good for a spooky graveyard kind of vibe. So yeah, if you want the full review, go watch that video. Next on my ranking is Woodland Weekend Memories. You can see I burned through this one. The scent notes for this are top notes of bergamot, orange, and pear. Middle notes of jasmine petals, vanilla, and coconut milk. And base notes of cozy amber, woodland moss, and sandalwood. So I remember when this collection first launched and people were uploading their first impressions on Yankee Candle's Cottage Getaway collection, a lot of people were hating on this scent. And I don't know why, because I really like it. Just not as much as some of the other fragrances that appear later on this list, but yeah, I don't think it deserved all the hate. A lot of people were saying this was the worst of the collection, which I don't agree. I think this has a really fresh kind of creamy smell that
fresh creamery butter
no doubt comes from the coconut milk and vanilla and probably a little bit of the bergamot and cozy amber notes. But yeah, I do think it's a little heavy on the coconut milk, which maybe is why people were hating on it, because they associate that scent more with summertime than with autumn. But I don't think it's terrible. I think it's just more of a cozy vibe, like curling up inside with some sweets and tea instead of like being out in the woods or something. I don't know, even though it's called Woodland Weekend Memories. But yeah, I like that one of the top notes is pear. I love pear, and you don't see that note used very often in candles. But I don't really get the pear when I sniff it on cold, just while it's burning. And honestly, I don't get the orange note at all. So if you have this candle and you smell orange, please let me know in the comments, because I don't get it. Maybe it's just me. But anyway, I'm not too broken up about that, considering I want an orange heavy candle more in the spring and summer instead of the fall. So I think it's just there to add a bit of complexity to the fragrance blend. But yeah, I think this candle is really good for what it is. It's very bright and creamy, and it gives you a break from all of the men's cologne and cinnamon spices of the fall season. So it definitely stands out among the rest of that collection. And next is Boonana Toffee. This is another one from Yankee. And this is another one that I talked about in my Halloween candle review video, so I won't bore you too much by repeating myself from there, but just know that I think this scent is really unique for Halloween, and I appreciate Yankee Candle taking a risk, and I think it paid off. Really enjoyed this one. It's Book Loft from White Barn. I did a dedicated review of this candle on my channel, so I will link that video in the description as well. This is a very warm, cozy scent that's perfect for late fall, transitioning into winter when the weather is getting colder. Yeah, watch my video if you want more of that. And now we are getting into the top contenders for best fall candle that I burned this year for 2024. We have Afternoon Scrapbooking from Yankee Candle.
That'll be a keeper.
The scent notes for this are top notes: golden apple, bergamot, lemon, ginger, nutmeg, and autumn air. Middle notes: eucalyptus, leather, clove, and labdanum. I hope I said that right. Base notes: patchouli, cedar, amber embers, and musk. And I just want to say, everybody slept on this scent. Oh my gosh, it was easily the best of the Cottage Getaway collection. And despite the very deep fragrance notes like leather and patchouli, it smells so bright and fresh, like a crisp autumn day. I'm telling you, this fragrance is amazing. I burned through quite a bit of it, even though it is a classic jar and it takes longer to burn through. So that goes to show you how much I really enjoyed it. And I also have this fragrance in a 3-wick, so I burned it in 2 different forms. So yeah, really like this one. So it has very good throw. It filled up my living room within a couple of hours, and not every Yankee candle can do that these days, so that's really good. And I have both of the jars. I didn't burn through either this one or the 3-wick, so I plan on putting them in storage and burning them again next year. I really enjoyed them because I'm not sure if this fragrance is going to come back next year, and I want to enjoy it again then. Also, I just want to say I really enjoyed the image that they used on this classic jar. Like, look at that. It's like so cozy and creative, and the wax color that they used I think is perfect too. So they really hit the mark with the marketing on this one. All right, number 2 best fall candle that I burned this year is Autumn Leaves, also from Yankee Candle.
No. Magic talking birds leading us to fairy godmothers and the mysterious... I'm going to Pottsfield.
This one is a classic, let me tell you. The scent notes are top notes of pomegranate, orange blossom, and white pine needles. Middle notes are blackberry, juniper berry, and rosemary. And base notes are birch leaf, red maple leaf, and dried persimmon tree leaves. So lots and lots of unique fragrance notes in this one. And I just think this is the perfect late autumn scent. Like, it helps you transition into winter with like the pine needle scent that really comes through. And I like how there's a lot of seasonal fruits in there too. The pomegranate has a nice deep rich scent to it, and the persimmons and juniper berries add a brightness to it that makes it really complex and balances well with the woodsy and leafy conceptuals, which are very bassy. And the rosemary adds a little bit of herbal tartness. Overall, it's just really refreshing. Yes. And it burns beautifully. The color of the wax is perfect for the vibe that they're going for. I mean, autumn leaves. Hello. It's just gets you in the mood for the season. It's hard to describe what makes this candle so special. It's just a classic, and that's why they bring it back every year. Of course, now that I've said that, I've probably jinxed it and they won't bring it back next year, but if they don't, I know a lot of people who would be really sad about it because this fragrance is very popular, and I am one of those people who would be sad about it. So hopefully they'll keep bringing it back because it's just the perfect autumn scent. However, it may be the perfect autumn scent, but there is one that I personally like better, and that is Granny Smith from Yankee Candle.
Granny Smith.
The scent notes for this one are top notes, crisp green apple peels, middle notes, Macintosh apple and juicy pear, base notes, cedar wood and white birch. This is probably my favorite scent from Yankee Candle, period, not just during the fall. Oh my gosh, it is just, it smells like a Granny Smith. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It burns really well. Like, you can see nice, very little wax build up on the sides, left over, no sooting. I've burned through basically the whole thing. I don't know, I get a little squeamish about continuing to burn when the wax is this low, just because I like to burn for so long at a time and I don't want a fire. I don't know. That's just me. I know some people can burn all the way down to the wick clips, but I get a little scared to do that. But anyway, so yeah, unless you're neglecting your wick, there's not really much that will go wrong with burning this one. I just think that the wax blend is really nice and the fragrance blend is also really nice. But anyway, as far as the strength, I can have this burning and, you know, you get used to the scent after a little while when you're just sitting there in it, but I'll leave the living room to like go use the bathroom or something, and as I'm coming back while I'm in the hallway, I'll just get hit with the scent. And the fact that it can reach that far is really, really good. So definitely impressed by the strength of this one. And don't let the fragrance notes fool you. This candle is not too sweet and it's not too sour. It's definitely hit that perfect like tart apple, like fresh, crisp, right off the tree. Like not a cider, not a candy apple. It's just the fruit, which I really appreciate. As I've said earlier in this video, I love apple scents but can't do cinnamon, so this candle is perfect for me. And I think it really captures the essence of a Granny Smith, a nice ripe Granny Smith apple. And I think this scent is amazing year-round. I don't think it's just a fall scent, which is why I think Autumn Leaves is the perfect fall scent, whereas this one is good the whole year round. I just like burning it for fall because I associate apples with, like, you know, that September, early October area. So to give you a sense of how much I love this candle, even though I burned through this one, I have 2 backups. That's how much I love this candle. So yeah, Granny Smith wins for the ranking of candles that I burned for fall 2024. So you probably noticed that most of this list is Yankee Candle with only a few Bath & Body Works and White Barn thrown in. And like I said earlier in this video, my reason for that is that I have a cinnamon allergy and I'm also not really a fan of gourmands. And I've noticed that Bath & Body Works has a tendency for the fall to have a lot of those kinds of scents and not very many like fruity, floral, woodsy kind of scents for fall. So I definitely lean more toward Bath & Body Works for like the winter holiday kind of season rather than fall. And I lean more toward Yankee for the fall season just because they have more options. So the pickings are very slim for me in Bath & Body Works as far as the fall scents. So, but on the bright side, my winter wrap-up will be much more balanced. And with that caveat, you can probably understand why this list was dominated by mostly fruity and woodsy scents, because the florals are more spring, unless there is something about them that makes them more geared toward the fall season. But I think that's kind of good because I really prefer those kinds of scents anyway. So if you're like me and you can't burn pumpkin spice or cinnamon apple or campfire scents, or you just don't really like them, then I hope my recommendations help you out. And I will have some more holiday, winter kind of videos coming out, so look forward to that as well. Anyway, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!